every time you do a long business trip or you go to this event like we had a great time yesterday, I get a bit hard time to get to sleep. So what I ended up having a habit to go in bed and open up Netflix and watch my favorite series so that I can get a bit relaxed and get to sleep. But Netflix is a super interesting company because not many remember that they have started their business with mail to DVD business model. I'm not the guy who remembers mail to DVD. I remember the DVD, like DVD recorders. So imagine your experience. You have been, wanting to watch your favorite movie, so you go into an online reservation platform of Netflix at that point in time. You put your favorite movies in the right sequence, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, full week, and you schedule them up so that the post guy can deliver that to your door. And then, of course, you run to your dad, pick it up, jump on your sofa, get some popcorns, and start watching. That was the experience. I think many of you are here the customers of Netflix. And that experience has significantly changed. So now you just, by one click of a button, you are ready to have the full experience. And that is possible just because Netflix did a digital transformation as early as year 2000. So 24 years ago, roughly. Time flies, yeah? Like the iPhone case, yeah? 2007. But what is even more interesting that all these nice recommendations, which all of you receive, me too, are based on artificial intelligence, machine learning solutions, and etc. And for me, Netflix serves as a perfect opportunity to explain how the role of AI can change modern logistics. So here you go. As many of you come from different parts of the world, I have interacted with many of you. So I learned that I need to probably do a bit of a crash course, what the logistics and what's the challenge in Europe is, because it's slightly different to US. And I put some numbers. And bear with me, that's not my home safe PIN code, so bear with that. So if we would travel now in time, like 2 years, we would realize that in 2022, in Europe, all logistics companies have deadlocked 34 billion empty mileage, which is 20.2%, in fact. So every 5th kilometer which is driven in Europe is for nothing. So what does it mean? That means that we have companies who spend money, have the drivers, the assets, the trucks, refuel, go all that distance, and are losing money. Not good for business. We also have an industry because all of that gas, which goes through combustion engine, goes into air. Global warming, sustainability challenges, not good. You lose. It's not good for the customers either, because guess who is paying that? You're paying because you're buying all these grocery store items, you want to fill your fridge, and you're basically paying because nobody's compensating for that. So yeah, so everybody loses. But how to tackle that, yeah? So, and if you take in domestic or international deliveries, that number of 34 billion kilometers is even larger because on average companies are somewhere wasting 15 to 30% of mileage. And if you convert that to money, in 2022, that was costing all Europe industry 30 billion euros. Now zoom back to now, 2 years forward. So if you take all of 22, 23, and now 24, which we had then almost, so we have already wasted 100 billion euros. And this is a problem which is interesting for me to sort it out, because some industries are smaller than that problem. So now you know what is the challenge. And if you take Girteka, a company I'm coming from. Girteka has a tremendous success. So we were in 1996, one truck, and now we are the largest road carrier in Europe. 6,000 trucks, 15,000 drivers, and we face the same challenge. Yeah, the one I was mentioning. And that cost us badly for our clients too. So what we are doing every month, we on average are driving around 70 million kilometers. And that is really, really hard. So next challenge is how the planning works. So imagine now you are a planner in our company, and you have exposed to around 10,000 cargoes every week. Every delivery has a lot of details behind it, yeah? Where to stop, who is the driver, how to keep the regulations, all the kind of import requirements, special rules for the cargo, safety stops if you need, if you're carrying iPhones, and so on. So that brings us that you need to do a lot of micro decisions on every single trip. So you think that these things come to your fridge just by a blink of an eye? No. And these micro decisions are very important, and I want to illustrate one single case, which is really illustrative. So this is a perfect length of the trip. We in logistics have a dream. Dream is, if a cargo is 1,300 kilometers, you do it well, you don't do mistakes, you win. I mean, you get the profit, everyone is happy, low empty mileage, customer is happy, it's on time, you take the money, all sides happy, so you win. And this is a case of a very nice cargo from Sweden to industrial Germany. But if you as a planner would take a decision to not do the ferry from Helsingborg to Denmark, but to take a very nice drive through Ålesund Bridge, which is, by the way, absolutely astonishing, you lose badly. Everyone in that chain loses. So extrapolate that to my case of 10,000 cargoes. So we do have a major problem to sort out. And a wise man once said, insanity is doing same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And he was then right. So we need to start thinking different. And that starting different starts with this date. Who of you know what happened in end of November 2022? Yeah, bingo. So ChatGPT, or in other words, AI started to talk to us in the form of words which we expect. But what we don't realize is that the first versions of artificial intelligence was developed in the 1950s by NASA. When they had the moon program, they calculate trajectories of the rocket to go to space. And I think we should, be happy because that's what they did successfully, and they landed at the moon finally. But then the real term came in play in 1956 by John McCartney. So as we know this, now the term which everybody is going crazy about. So this term is not new. And since that 70 years of history of artificial intelligence, there was many iterations from mathematical aspect of it, symbolic AI, machine learning, deep learning, which Novartis spoke yesterday about drugs discovery. Now we have the generative version of it, which is the most sophisticated, because it can consume all kind of information from code to pictures to videos, anything, and produce you the result in a simple, elegant way like you do it with Google. You ask, you get an answer. Or you ask for a picture, you get a picture. So it's not new, let's agree. It's not new, but the question is how do we move that? Because there is a huge belief, and they also have this belief, that AI will transform the world as we see it. It won't gonna happen over one day, because we're just scratching the surface. It's the same as with the iPhone case, which we've seen. That you get the phone, but then you learn what to do with it. So all these extra elements are coming, like payments, different services which we can interact, online banking, platform approach. It won't be possible if we wouldn't move that and if that wouldn't be discovered. Also, AI is enabled just because the cloud computing reached the stage where it can be consumable. Because you would never ever use that system if you enter your ask and it will take 2 days to get you an answer, yeah? So to do that in milliseconds takes a lot of compute power, hence NVIDIA is skyrocketing in share prices. But I want to go back because when ChatGPT was talking to all of us, in 2022, I was exposed to that problem which I was telling you, where everybody loses, you have this complexity of making day-to-day decisions, how to sort it out. And as early in 2020, we made a bold decision that we're going to create probably one of the biggest planning AI systems in Europe. And in 2021, year after, it became live. What does it mean to us? So we are running that system for several years already. So that means that all this complexity, which I just told to you, can be sorted for all cargoes within 5 minutes. With the lowest empty mileage, all the regulations, everyone is happy, customer happy, and that's the best plan holistically across Europe. Sounds simple, but behind the scenes there's a lot of details. Because to do a perfect matching between in this black box, as we call it, yeah, because you can put all these parameters in, shake that magic box, and a perfect plan needs to come out. So for your awareness, an average industry player has 300 rules to assign a truck, cargo, and a driver. Sounds so simple, yeah? Only 3 things. 300 rules what needs to be complied with. We are playing more than those rules. When we started, we had more than 1,000 rules, which need to be applied to kind of make the best cost per kilometer, because our thinking is we are industry leader in low cost. So that means we are like, Delta Airlines in US or Ryanair in Europe. So we are thinking that way, crazy extreme, how to optimize everything. So this is what makes a winning combination. And we improved in time. We learned that not all of those rules are useful, but it's still a lot of rules you need to apply to make a winning combination. And what it gives us, it gives this an ability to scale, because what we learn also over these years is we reach a scale as a carrier where if you want to be double or triple in size as a business, you need to be scalable. It's impossible to do it by doing as we did it before, which I was just talking about. And the interesting thing is we created this winning combination. That means that we take this, first of all, the lowest mileage possible, so less in pollution. Second thing, we keep all the customer requirements because that customer is happy, which is super important for every one of us. And lastly, we take the best use of assets. That means the mileage is lowest. That means the costs are lowest. That's what we can share with a customer at the same point, which makes everyone win in that loop. So not lose, 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 but win, 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 which is a completely different part of play. And we applied, you will not know because that's a very old version of AI. So not Gen AI, but symbolic AI. So the system which we are running is running through symbolic AI as an interface. So it works in a different way. So this was a huge journey for us, to be honest. And we took quite a few learnings through this. The first learning is you need to understand the problem. Sounds simple, but now you know, yeah? You have just went through my little crash course about Europe logistics, one of the biggest problems. So now you know, you can be a party killer in one of your friend parties. But that's what we have to understand. Understand the complexities between how many components need to be in play to create win-win-win combination. What was the second biggest learning is system which we created, or AI systems, doesn't live in isolation in your company. they need us around in the water systems because we had this brilliant presentation by American Airlines yesterday about this data flow, yeah? Because everything from lead to order to quotation to pricing to order, customer information setup, transportation, taking money at the end is a data points. So the data travels all the time through this river, which we need to follow. So to create that river of data and take it into this, consume into your black box, which we have, you need to ensure that the surrounding systems are good. So we needed a stable core, as we call it. Hence, we know our partners in crime is Salesforce and SAP. And behind the scenes, we have LeverX engineering team in some of the projects helping us to move there. So I think that is a great combination, because if you don't have the stable core, you don't have the engineering abilities, you don't have an understanding of approach design, you're not going anywhere. You're not creating this winning-winning combination. You're probably wasting a lot of money and ending up badly. So who is on sport diet and do a lot of sports know that food is important, yeah? It's not enough to do just a lot of, exercises, and the same for AI. So data is the food. And our biggest learning in the journey we had was when we launched our planning machine, the result of success was, guess what percentage? How many? 20. No, higher. 60, right. Yes, 60. So 60. And it was like, didn't bring us a lot of confidence that it will work and everything, but we learned going back to this data river where the problems appear. And we realized we've never been taking care of our data in a proper way. We didn't have the rules at play, master data thinking, how the things should be decided, all the structure of data, etc. So we were going back to the start where the river starts and fixing everything to make it work. And then we reached what we wanted. We reached 100% full compliant, but we use a system which does probably around 90% plans of the deviations and so on. So that is what we achieved. But we needed to take care of food, because if you don't feed that big machine or the black box, you put wrong food, the wrong thing comes out. Mindset change, and I have a story for mindset change. So the first weeks when we launched the system, we have a Japanese Toyota Gemba system where you can go to anyone in a company and see how they work. And I go with my colleague executive who was running the Euro business at that point in time to the people who do the planning. And I see everybody busy, nice screens, system is, you can see it, things happening, things moving, and I sit to one of the guys. And I see he's interfering with every single plan. So AI is producing a plan, he's opening up, canceling the plan, and changing something. And I say, okay, what is going on? He said, I don't trust the system. The AI system is planning things in the different way that we do. We never drive through this road. We never do this ferry, because there is reasons why. So we started talking, and then I stood up. I looked at everyone on the team. I said, okay, let's do the raising the hand exercise. Who believes system is doing a great job? 0 hands. 0. Okay, that was encouraging. And then I felt, okay, why? And you get a wave of comments. It's bad, it's not doing, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that, it has too much rules. And we said, okay, let's do a simple twist to the game. He said, do you believe you can do it better by hands like you did for the last 25 years? They said, we can do it. All hands up. Boom. And I said, what if we do a competition? The rules are the following. You can assemble best planning team, which we have in this company, and for the week, you are going to play against AI system. If you win, we reconsider the decision that the system is good. If you lose, that means you have a new boss. New boss is AI. And you follow with no hesitation. And you could then go, every day I was coming to the floor where they work, they sweat like hell. I mean, people sweating like hell, working long hours, 24/7, really trying to win. And then I come after that week when it passes. And I come on the floor and I see like faces like this. And I say, how are we doing? And I'm like, bad. I said, so what are we learning? And I would say, that system is just better. It's just better, because we go to every single assignment that system does, looking for mistakes, and it doesn't do mistakes. And I said, so what does it mean? So our conversation about this, we don't trust the system, or we have a new boss, new religion, changed. Boom. But that illustrates how hard it is to trust these systems, yeah? Coming to the example which the previous speaker was saying, if you generate a gift card to your family member and there is a mistake, it could be okay, you could kind of go around it, you know, unless it's a different name for your, you know, wife or husband, and, you know, could be cheating, you know. But if you do that in a business concept, it is really painful because you can lose a lot of money. But that is a huge mindset change we need to go through. And I think everyone who is here listening about how these systems are being added to our organizations, I think have this honest understanding of it. Last but not the least is understanding that innovation is important to continue. So something what Sam was talking yesterday. And this is super important in a way just because it is not enough to understand that you have this magic box, you put anything, which we have in Europe as a caragous, shake it up, it produces a perfect plan. It is not enough to win. Because to win, you need to ensure that what you put in the box is what is the right thing. And the box is right, but what you put in the box is important. So our biggest understanding is to be an industry leader in Europe, we need to fix the commercial part of organizations. So they buy with an understanding into the future what is needed to drive best outcome of AI box. And when I was asked to talk about our story of AI in logistics, I was taking just an example of what we currently use with we have years of experience with that already, but we do experiment with the modern AI, the exactly ChatGPT-alike AI in different fields. So custom order management, everything in finance, next level pricing solution with machine learning, and also thinking how we can democratize internal data access to people, which is still a journey for us to go, but we are looking how to do those 4 boxes at least. But as in perfect Netflix series, yeah, there is always a cliffhanger, like, someone is getting killed or no, you don't know. So I will leave that for the next year, if I get invited, to come and tell more about it. So I want to conclude with, I think, the principal understanding that if anyone wants to have a winning company which could forlive time, you need to think how you utilize technology well. Can you avoid not to use AI in your business? Answer is no. Question is how to mature that use in time to create winning combination. And I'm daring to say that especially who want logistics, because logistics is a very marginal business. You are not having margins like in the investment bank. No, you play in the 4 to 5% delta. So to create that utility business at scale is a huge challenge. And AI is the new black in that. So with that, I will stop. Hope that was useful.